So what's going on, people? I am back for another recap on the market. Once again, maxed out for the day. I had these two nice trades down here on the NASDAQ. I was down a little bit to start because I was a little impatient, but I made it back and maxed out for the day on my 50K funded. I'm now less than $1,000 out from getting funded, so I'll probably get that done next week. But just wanted to recap the trade, more of what I said yesterday on my trading, and show you the two examples of how I got into this position. Before I show you the entry, let's go to the math of it. So this was a previous support level, and here's some sideways consolidation. I'll zoom in a little bit more so you can see it because I get my entries down on the 1 minute. So basically a previous support level, and we were looking for sells, turned resistance. It was like this. So you can see this consolidation, previous support, broke it, came back to it. And like I said, 952 at 25,000, and this market's still pushing 555. A really decent entry right there at the top. My target again was the low from which we came. Stop is 2R, as I was describing. And we did take a little bit of drawdown, but we didn't get stopped out. Now, on a 15-minute chart, this really probably could have been more of like this, because again, just like any time frame, this is the low from which we came down here. Right here is the low from which we came. It pulled back up and then drop. So I'm within this overall move, but catching a smaller time frame. So like I said, my target was just to here. I had no reason to close it. I still utilize a TDI, and up here, 955 was my entry. It was just free falling. I really had no exit parameters on this trade. I could still be holding it, except for the fact that I can't make more than 1,500 on this combine. That was my first entry, and I closed it in line with my position, as I should. And I said, like, Drew, there's no reason you should have closed this. So I got back in at 10.03 for another sell at 25,509 right there. So as this was starting to push, and what I actually did was I put my stop above these pins in this sideways consolidation here. I felt that would be safe. And then I targeted my max out for the day, which was 25,424 and 75 cents. So like right, close enough, right there. So it did actually wind up being another 2R. How I managed this position was each 1 minute candle, as it started pushing down, like I let it go sideways and then push, and then I just started slowly pushing my stop losses closer to the 1 minute candles that each one formed. And then by the time all was done, I was out here and didn't have to trail it any further than that. So I just kept going 1 minute candles at a time, and moving my profits lower and lower, kind of like aggressively trailing it. Clearly there was no reason to. This thing has just literally fallen to hell, which was the move I was expecting. This was just like a pullback and then a dump. And I got in on the micro level, and that's how I traded it. So two positions today, as you can see, after some losers of impatience. So we'll go into the analytics performance stats. Not happy with my win percentage. I'm usually a little over 50. I think the last time I passed my combine, I was at like 55, but that's all you need. With 2R, you can trade and be wrong 60% of the time and still make profits. If in a sample size of 10 trades, if you lost 6, you'd be down 6R. If you won the 4, you'd be positive 8R. Subtracting that, you'd still be net 2R. So you don't need a high win rate. And when I'm trying to max these accounts out, I'm obviously going beyond my 2R in most cases. So anyway, that's the trade win percentage. You can see my equity curve. I just had this really terrible first day on Tuesday, just kind of 20 trades. It's way too many for me. Even 13's a lot. I like to be somewhere between like 3 and 4, 5 at the most. So these are a little higher, but it is what it is. You look at this right there, almost 29. So between these 3 days, I've passed the combine. I just had this shit day on Tuesday. So I do like to try and pass these in 2 to 3 days. This week was not the case. So hopefully on Monday, we'll make this, $920, $1,000 and get that passed and be right back to another 2 funded combine accounts. So that's what it's looking like today. It was a really good, easy, simple trade. It really was. You just had to wait for it. 10 a.m. club. It really exploded at 10 o'clock. And that's just because of the hour rotation, and also 10 o'clock introduces a new 4-hour rotation. And it's just up and back down to the low from which it came on a higher time frame on a 15-minute, and then just microing it down to a 1-minute and finding your entries, support resistance, support resistance, support resistance. It's not hard. It's just keep it super simple, stupid, and you can make money. So I will be back again on Monday. Hopefully I can record this live so you can see in action as it's happening. Try and keep making these videos, and hopefully they help. If you found any of this valuable, that's awesome. And I will catch you in the next video.